Oi, oi! It's Liverpool 4, Newcastle 2. I was speaking to Niall, who was watching the live stream, watch along chat. I'm still absolutely fuming with some of these decisions, but we'll get into it tonight. But for the audio listeners on the channel and on Spotify as well, obviously, I am joined by Kev from Spider LFC, part of the furniture. Same with this fella as well. Niall from the upper tier. That's both of their channels. So please do head out, check their links. If you're watching on YouTube and Spotify, all their links will be in the description. So there's one thing you can do heading into 2024. Yes, years are flying by. So yeah, certainly watching Liverpool takes a couple of years off you anyway. Especially tonight. There's plenty to go into on tonight's game. We'll speak about the dubious decisions for both teams that there were, but Liverpool getting the most important thing, and that was 3 points. Niall, you can let me relax for a couple of minutes. You enjoyed watching me on the watch along. As I was saying to Niall and the lads before we jumped on air, I'm like that old granddad in the corner of the pub that you do tell to usually shut up when he's watching the match. Niall, you're probably telling me to shut up on that watch along when you're watching me, mate. What a game of football that was, mate. Absolutely whirlwind football.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, I said it to you before we came on. You were that animated at times. You were disappearing out of the screen. It was quality, it was just so good. Like, it's pure entertainment. But before we start, big up, happy New Year to everyone in the chat and all your subscribers and all, and Spider, of course. But yeah, it was a crazy game. But listen, there's no such thing as a Liverpool Newcastle game that isn't crazy, is there? It's this is what we do. This is our history with these two clubs and stuff like that. I said in your chat messing and I'll bring on Collymore quick, so like it was those kind of vibes and stuff like that. But in truth, at times we're architects of our own downfall at times. Literally this game should have been over inside 20 minutes. I don't know what's happened in terms of that final third. I know Luis Diaz sort of grew into the game a little bit and got a little bit better and started doing some outside runs for a change and dropping a few shoulders and stuff like that. But for the first 15, 20 minutes, he just seems so disjointed out of the game, not reading anything, no awareness of what's unfolding around him. You look at Darwin up front as well. God loves a trier. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, he just lacks some of that elite ball knowledge or something like that to run off a defender, to make a run, to make the right movement that you see and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it's so frustrating. And I suppose the worrying thing for us is as we go into some of the more clinical games in this title race and stuff like that, you're not going to create 33 chances against Man City, and you're going to have to take a much better percentage of your opportunities because they're, and that's the problem. But like this was end-to-end stuff, but that Newcastle team are in trouble. They're in serious trouble there. They've a litany of injuries. We know that. That's a solid side they put on tonight as well, even though they have injuries. Arguably, Dubravka shouts for man of the match. If Mo's assist wasn't so filthy, Dubravka was certainly in there. I thought Endo again tonight was absolutely brilliant. Certainly in the conversation of man of the match, like he has been for a number of games now. Absolutely brilliant. Has grown into that position. And I'd like when he gets back to see him continue as well, and maybe let's unleash Mac into the 8 role and stuff like that, and let's see where we can go with that. But yeah, it was just a crazy game end to end. Glad to get the 3 points, as we say at times. Sometimes it's points over performance, but final third is a little bit worrying. We're just not clinical enough. What did we create? 36 chances.
Just having a quick look at the stats. Massive. Yeah, I think it's saying 15 shots on target, but I think it was 16 anyway. But 100% agree with there now. Like it's my game, but it could have simply been another night, one of them nights, Kev. But just your general thoughts on, because there's plenty to go into, mate. But off the back of what Niall said there was so many good performances from Liverpool. But I do agree where Niall come from in relation to Diaz, obviously after the 15 minutes. I think that's where you really, when we actually seen Luis Diaz, which every Liverpool fan, every podcast in the world, and everyone, you've been speaking to your mates or your relatives over Christmas and that, you're just saying we want to be seeing a lot more from Diaz. And we said this a couple of weeks ago, lads, all three of us in chat. Diaz, I was standing up on my seat on the stream. He went down the left-hand channel and cut across the byline. And it's like, that's it. And he put in a rasping ball to the back post. And sadly for Liverpool, there wasn't no one at the back post to put it away, Kev. But what starting point are you going to start, mate, on this game? I think we'll start from the beginning, mate. Obviously, the disallowed goal. I think for the two disallowed, even me ma, when it went down at half time, she was like, those two goals were quite fortunate to be ruled out. I think both of them were very marginal decisions. But just attack this game in any way you want to possibly, Kev.
Yeah, with those slow goals, they're supposed to be. I heard that they're supposed to give attackers advantage more this season. And I didn't see that. If that's a minuscule line again, then they're not after making the line sticker. They're going to absolutes again. And really, the benefit of the benefit of the decision should be made for the attacker. Regardless of that, and it should be the midpoint of the body. Really, that's offside, not just like an arm or a shoulder. Because you can't help to naturally lean to run forward. You can't start running straight up and then run like that. You're always going to be in the lean and go. You might drop your legs back. I think if this is the way I should think of it, if there's a proportion of your body that's enough behind the offside position and some that's over the offside position, it should be given to the benefit of the more proportion that's onside. So if your legs up to your stomach and all that is mostly onside, but yet the shoulders just off, because you're an attack, I think it should be given, as onside, because it's just a momentum-based thing. When we started the game, I thought Luis Diaz was brilliant tonight. He looked like his old self. As you said, cutting them to the byline and taking people on, doing the Johan Cruyff turns, turning them inside and out, creating chances left, right, and centre, being an absolute menace to the defence. I thought we were going to see the same old Lewis, where he would run, turn, and then probably lose it at the edge of the box.
In the penalty area tonight, lads, he was doing stuff. Like the first time I've actually seen it, we've all seen it in a very long time, because as you probably would say then, apologies, but he was getting into penalty and he was doing something. He was getting the right touches. I think that's a hallmark of Luis Suarez, done extremely well, where he'd dink one way and just manoeuvre his body, but so much fluidity in those feet, mate, tonight for him.
Yeah, he was brilliant. For me, he was up there for a show for man of the match as well. Trent's passing is great in certain aspects as well. What I did notice, and I kept saying through my live stream, is how Liverpool sucked Newcastle's entire midfield and forward line into their defence. And the minute they did, every single time we bypassed with one pass through all five players. And a number of times it reached Endo, a number of times Endo was the one that was creating the passes. Ibu's passing into Endo when he was beyond them was fantastic. Some of the passing through from Trent was great. Salah, I thought was a bit wasteful at the start of the game, and then kind of get into a little bit twists and turns, but keep the ball. I thought, he had a poor second half. He just turned into Salah, so I mean that's what you expect.
He changed his boots. I don't know if you see the match, Kev.
Keep those boots on in the future. We're laughing. So those first boots, get rid of those, whatever they were, and yes, that was great. It was, and I have to give a shout out to Darwin. He was a menace all night tonight. Some of his layoff, his hold up play, his layoff play, getting the assist. He's unlucky, man, with some of the chances that he's getting. He's putting the ball in the right area. He's taking the right strike. Maybe some of them should be a bit lower and underneath the keeper. But other than that, man, he's getting in the right positions. Dubravka, I think, was more of a difference than any of our front line not scoring in the first half. I think it was mainly down to him saving Newcastle. And you were right to say that he could have been man of the match only for how much Salah stepped up. I must say Verge was at fault for the first goal. No. He stepped back.
He stepped back.
He never stepped up. Like the Verge would always be the lad. He'd be screaming at everybody else to step back or to step up. He didn't step up. He went with the runner. I don't know why. I think it was just a lapse for him. Couldn't do anything about the second goal other than not put Jota on probably one of the strongest headers in the Newcastle team. So you can't, why would you put Jota on him? Jota's he's fantastic in the air. He can score his own headers from standing positions, but he's not defending tall, strong.
Landed the Giants on that set piece. Yeah. I think they were all preoccupied about that beanpole that is Dan Burn. Very good footballer, by the way. But he's about 6'6".
Yeah.
He's about 3 plays to mark.
Yeah, he's huge.
Great. Newcastle, I think they from their goal, it was their second chance. They scored their second chance on target. They said 8 minutes was their first chance on target. The next one was, I don't know what it was, 50, 60. 60 minutes or something, 50 something minutes or something like that. And then obviously that header in. Newcastle are always capable of scoring no matter how poor they are. But really with the XG being at 7.62 goals.
Record-breaking
Is it?
XG. That's what I said.
Record-breaking XG. That's ridiculous. And for me, I mean, that's the best XG in the league. No, in the history of the league.
Yeah.
No one's ever done it. I mean, that should have just told you that's an average as well. So that should have told you that we should have had 10 or 11 goals in the game tonight. So top of the league, 3 points clear. Everybody else is crying in their sleep tonight. Simple as.
Yeah. What's that? Hang on. What are we? How many points are we ahead of Manchester United? 14.
14.
What are we worried about them for?
No, just getting sausage in the corner.
Manchester United, they're a dead club, man. They're done and dusted.
How many are we ahead? That's like saying how many are we ahead of Burnley?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Where's the benchmark? Where's the benchmark?
Oh, good.
Laughable club, man. They just run so wrong. How many rebuilds happened there, no? How many rebuilds?
They're on the next one in a couple of months.
Decade of non-dominance.
Yeah, we enjoy it. But we'll get to all the live comments as well. Andrew Diaz is the Diaz of the 2022 when we bought him in front. Spirit of the team tonight was exceptional. Shout out to Rotaro Endo.
Yeah, brilliant.
Incredible again. Obviously, the lads have mentioned it. We will miss him. I'm pretty sure we'll do plenty of
He reminds me, Jack, of a mix between Andy Robertson and Lucas Leiva. It's the way I was saying it because there's a slight awkwardness when people are too close to him on the ball. But, the determination is there, the mindset for the positional sense is there, what Leiva grew into learning. Like, he used to have fantastic positional sense when he was in front of the back four. Even though he mightn't have been the best DM in the league, his positional sense was spot on. But, Wataru's got he's got another element. And the passing. I mean, Lucas was brought in as a passer.
Big up there, Danny. Adding on to what Wataru went with qualities. Big up there, Danny. I think you commented, mate, when Liverpool did sign him, mate. So appreciate you popping in back again, mate. I made up that Wataru is getting his plaudits and hopefully does lead Japan to glory in the next couple of weeks. Because obviously I know there's a couple of changes in their squad, but Japan's. I watched them in the World Cup last December. And one of the star teams of that tournament, beating Germany, beating Spain, I think it was as well in that. So there's a lot of quality. And I think we've still got levels to see of Endo's games, to very much see in. I know you compared him to Lucas, mate, but I think he's going to be a couple of steps above him in all honesty, mate. I think he will be the certain DMs that we spoke about at Chelsea and other DMs in the Premier League that are worth 100-odd million, supposedly worth 100-odd million, and you wouldn't even be able to lace Wataru Endo's laces, in all honesty. Niall, second half concluded what was, and that's where Liverpool really did step up the ferocious nature, and I think that's one thing that has been labelled at Liverpool over the last couple of weeks is that mentality, really. I think we've seen that mentality again. We've seen Jurgen Klopp whipping up the crowd again, and the decision making, and we'll get straight into the decision making from the referees. I know it's sadly not to harp on about it, but I'll speak from all three of us and everyone on the channel. The decision making from Liverpool to Liverpool and against Liverpool, and even for Newcastle decisions, even tonight, it was like, what is the ref doing, Anthony Taylor? But we didn't let the ref. But to quickly touch on some of those decisions that you did see in tonight's game, mate. It was a bit of a mad one, wasn't
it? The glaring one, I suppose, was the Joe Linton one. It's just where he grabbed him around the shoulders and pulled him down. And for some reason, just because he played on, he seemed to think that he couldn't go back and book him, but it happens all the time. It's a kind of a weird one, really, that one. And then you seen early on in the second half for a similar foul, he was straight over and handed out the booking, even trying to play it on and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's just with Taylor's just a madness at times. He just and he's regarded as one of the better ones. But like I've said in some of the shows and stuff like that, I've really given up looking at officials' names. I don't care who they put out against us there. We know what the story is. We've had that many apologies from the PGMOL at this stage. I think they've done us out of at least 9 points this season, I think, or something like that with the 3 apologies so far. And I just think they're just so poor. There's nowhere really to begin with it, is there? Some of the decisions that are made and stuff like that, and it's It's just it can either drive you insane, and you can see it with some of us. You see some of the bookings that we pick up now. You Trent getting booked and all for going crazy. He's the vice captain. He's entitled to talk to you, like, you know what I mean. It's ridiculous, like, and you see Taylor trying to. It's a demonstration of another referee wanting to be the superstar on the pitch and not the two teams. And it goes both ways. I mean, there was decisions both ways and stuff like that. But he's an absolute clown, and if he's the best they have to offer up, it says it all, doesn't it? Really. So what else can I say?
Yeah, I think it is, mate. Kev, what are you searching there, lad?
No, sorry, I'm searching everything. Oh, sorry. I always, you know, I seen a certain comment in the chat before you banned a certain person. And I'm
upset we banned them now. We should have brought them on and given it to them.
Exactly. So I was looking at them with the saying paying refs and cheating and whatever like that, and I'm just literally looking at a thing here about refs being paid off and by a certain club, and then also by a 300,000 fine for UEFA by just last July for a breach of cheating. So I'm just putting it in there.
Imagine a United fan coming into a Liverpool chat saying he can't wait till we bottle it. Good Lord.
You know he's a fella sitting at home with about 20 cans next to him and nothing else to do with his time but talks back.
Either that or he's a 6-year-old that got hold of his outfield's phone or something like that. I don't know, because, to be honest with you, we're one of the key reasons in this league why this league isn't like the French league.
Exactly.
Wake up, mate. Wake up.
Yeah. You know, I have a laugh off of that. I'll pay attention to them.
We should be the standard for United currently. They were the standard 20 years ago under Ferguson. Obviously, that quality of football. But we love it.
We've always been the standard, Jack, because Ferguson made us his standard.
Yeah.
We've been the standard since day one. They had a nice few years, but they've been done and dusted either side of that. Remember, they used to mock us for being 30 years without a title, but they went 41 years without a title. So they've got the record alongside Everton. So, you know.
But Spider football only started in 1992, so that's couldn't be the case.
Forgot about that.
It says a lot when a United fan is rocking up into our chat, doesn't it?
Thank you for the numbers. We love it.
Appreciate the views.
Nice on the ways. I don't understand anyone who underestimates Endo. He's the best we had in that 6th spot, certainly, Paul. And I don't think if he continues playing the way he is, mate, I think he'll certainly be going nowhere. He certainly, I think all three of us put our hands up a couple of months ago. I think a lot of Liverpool fans, a large majority, but you get the clever one that go, oh, I knew his qualities and all that, so that you didn't. But big up there as well. Big up there, Kieran. I get Núñez didn't have the best of games today, but it's not like he was missing chances. The goalkeeper had a great game, just like Pope. But I believe
I thought Núñez had a great game. Just because he didn't score a goal doesn't mean he didn't have a great game. I thought he ran the lines really well. I thought his runs were fantastic.
His assist, he lanes, and that's one point I want to quickly raise as well. He laned from that goal, Kev, because there was a situation that did arise in the first 45 minutes where obviously Darwin could have and should have squared it across the penalty area. But the second half, getting that assist and the spatial awareness to very much set up Salah's goal on the 49th minute. That's what you're wanting. And it was interesting, I think, on the celebrations where Trent, he was pointing to, both of them were pointing at each other, and he was going like that. I think Núñez. So he clearly had a word, Trent, to say, just keep your head, keep your composure as well. But I'm liking that, mate. So he's young, he's raw, he's learning. But I think that chance in itself in that second half really shows exactly what you want and the quick response from Darwin in that second half. Kev, Kev's too busy looking.
No.
Sort of,
the mindset. I didn't know you were asking me. No, that's fine. I didn't know you were asking me. Sorry, you just kind of randomly just said Kev at the end of it, but no, that's not. Yeah, exactly. He kept the mindset on.
There we go.
He lost. Yeah, exactly. He should have played that ball to Salah in the first half. Learned his lesson for he came back. Kept the mindset. I actually thought you said Niall first, and that's why I was waiting for Niall to answer. But you finished off with a bit of Kev, so that's grand. So everybody likes to finish off with a bit of Kevin.
No, I'm saying now, jump in and actually save the day from Kev today. We'll
save the day from Matt. I thought you were asking Neil, so it's grand. I'm here. I'm still in the room, lads.
too busy
Instead of
messing
doing-
with his phone. He's messing with
No,
his keyboard.
I'm reading the chat here and I'm walking along because I heard you saying Niall first. I just said that and I was laughing at Ant's Leicester fan channel comment about the lads being massive because United were 11 years ago the title. So I was just laughing at that to myself.
We'll get to everyone's comments as well. I don't understand anyone who read that one from Paul, United fans, thanks, Paul. Ant, big up there, Ant. We know Ant's on the channel. He's a good lad.
Yeah.
Big up there, Redbeard. Goalie saves it. Darwin misses. Goalie saves from another player. It's a great save. I don't like the fact people don't keep the same energy when it comes to Darwin. 100%
It was brilliant.
100%.
It was brilliant.
Yeah, 100%. Ryan, the standards of the refs are better in the Championship because they have to control the games, not rely on VAR. True there, Ant. Big up there, Scouser. Nunes, take
that's true. When I see these absolutes to get rid, he does so much work up front, and once he starts scoring goals, he'll be grand. He hasn't found his position. Once he finds his perfect run, he makes great runs, but once he finds the perfect run to suit Salah or to suit Diaz on that side or to suit Gakpo or that thing, it'll just come naturally. The lads are just going to make it easier and easier for Nunez to score, and they'll see that sometimes if they give him too much time in the ball, it's a lot worse. But if he has to just react, he was unlucky mentally because he came off his knee when the Dubravka saved. The volley was still a tight angle and it was almost similar to the one that he scored earlier in the season against Newcastle. If he'd have kept it down, the header was unlucky, very unlucky. He was so close. So he's getting into positions and he's doing it. It's not like he's blasting it and it's going a mile up in the air. I remember when Peter Crouch first came to Liverpool, he didn't score for 19 games and then barely scored after that. But then he started scoring all around him like a season or so later. So I get it. Nunes is here now. It's his second season. He's get going. He still has a second half of a season where Liverpool generally play much better and where he scores the majority of his goals. Still got 15 goals last season. I think he's already near enough to top in that this season. He'll improve and improve.
It'll be interesting to see, lads, how he steps up now with Mo heading off to the AFCON. Yeah. Let's see if he steps up and becomes that vocal guy. That'll be good.
Yeah, 100%. Now, as you were saying with the AFCON, mates, I anticipate, as Kev just alluded to there with Nunes, who, if you had to pick one or two of those players, who do you anticipate to step up in this period? A couple of years ago, it was Ox stepped up surprisingly with a couple of goals in that period with the AFCON. Is it going to be Elliot down that right-hand side? So Buzz like down the right? Elliot. So who for you do you anticipate really in the next couple of weeks to really step up to the mantle of Salah? And then
I suppose when we spoke about it originally, we were thinking about Dom going up into that position, similar to the Hungarian position that he plays. But obviously now we don't know what's going to happen there with the hamstring and the injury. So naturally, Harvey's probably going to go in there. So it's a great opportunity for Harvey as well. But I'd like to see, Curtis had a real good game tonight, and he's just developing all the time. I thought some of his runs tonight were brilliant on his passing as well. And I think he's a guy who might relish the opportunity to step, not necessarily into Salah's position, stuff like that, but step up and be that guy, be that kind of, up there with Trent and stuff like that. And I'm really looking forward to seeing Curtis in this period as well. Obviously, we're going to miss Endo as well. So I assume McAllister being back, he's probably going to drop into the 6. So we're going to be heavily reliant maybe on him, Curtis on that side or Gravenberch. But yeah, I wouldn't be. Dom was one I wanted to see because I think he's struggling the last while now in terms of his box to box stuff and things like that. He's really, really good till he gets that position, and it just isn't working for him. But I would have liked to see him maybe a little bit more forward and stuff like that. We know he has a shot on him, and we know he has goals in him, so it would have been nice to maybe see him in that position. But I'm all in on Harvey going there. Let's see what Harvey can do. And listen, the schedule isn't too bad. Okay, we've got Arsenal in the Cup. We've got Fulham twice. And I think at the back end is a Chelsea we have or something like that. So it's not a ridiculous January considering who we're losing and stuff like that and all. It's not too bad. So let's get Harvey in there. He'll be an absolute live wire and a buzzsaw and stuff like that. So looking forward to seeing Harvey step up as well now, because every time he's come on this season as a sub, he's generally stepped up and put in a huge performance. So really looking forward to that.
The one thing that I noticed with Nunes is, so the chances that Nunes tends to get and the ones that he misses are delayed chances that he gets from Salah, because Salah does a lot of dancing at the edge of the box, lays it back, then gets it back in, and then he has to make a run, stop, make a run again. The difference with Harvey is that Harvey won't hold onto the ball too much. He will see where Nunes is running instantly, and he'll whip it straight at Nunes. So I think Nunes will convert more chances with Harvey than he would with Salah. I know him.
Yeah,
I know Nunes and Salah been linking up well together, but I think that Harvey would play him in earlier.
Yeah, I think tonight is an awkward one as well, and not in defense of Nunes overly and stuff like that. No, but it was a horrible night there tonight as well, and I think there was just a little bit of disjointment there with Darwin. At times, he just looked a little bit lost in the game and stuff like that. His movement off defenders and stuff wasn't actually what it was. You see when Diaz whipped that ball in across the box, there's no one in there. He should be getting on the end of that and putting that away and stuff. You know what I mean? So it was just a little bit lack of awareness at times, sometimes, of what was evolving in front of you and stuff like that. And I suppose when you see Luis Diaz cut across those two players to the byline and whip the ball in, we were as shocked probably as Darwin was, because we weren't even expecting it. So he wouldn't be expecting it either and stuff like that. But I think then you see when Jota comes on, like the brilliance of Jota, the way he picks up that ball, my thinking is if that's Nunes, he's going to smash that against Dubravka. But Jota just slides it across the Curtis for the tap in. It's just that little bit more of ball knowledge and awareness in that final third at times. You said it earlier, Jack, on the watch along where he should have squared the ball to Salah in the box on his own. It's just having that awareness. Now, I know as a forward, sometimes you're going to be greedy. You're going to want to have a bang if you've made the run and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's the result at the end of the day, what you get on these runs and these movements and stuff. And it was just a little bit off tonight and stuff like that, But yeah,
it's mad, in all honesty, lads, innit? I think we'll always will back Nunes, and thing is, let's not kid ourselves. Dubravka could have won the Ballon d'Or after tonight, mate. Some of the saves he was making, there was that chance.
Courtois levels, wasn't it? Courtois levels.
Ridiculous. Like, we faced Champions League Courtois in goal tonight.
Although, Jack, we have developed a habit recently of just smashing balls at keepers as opposed to picking a left or a right side. Yeah. We keep on bashing them at keepers as well.
We've had little paces because our build-up pace is so quick. With that, like one of the what's his name, Peter Drury, I think, said it in the second half of the match. He goes and he hit the nail in the head. It looks like that they're being more patient now on the ball. For the second half, so they're recycling the ball more like they used to, rather than just like rushing it. And then when you don't get a chance, we have to counter, then try and rush it again. And I think that's our biggest flaw, is the fact that we're too good when we're going forward. Sometimes that we're trying to rush the last. Well, if there isn't a chance that's going to happen, recycle it back, make him step out. Yeah, and I think when we did make him step up to us, we were cutting him through. So yeah. I just think
the first half was like that, wasn't it? It was very frustrating because for the first 20 minutes we should have bagged 3 or 4, and because it didn't happen, then we got a little bit frustrated, and then we started trying things that we don't normally try and stuff like that.
Happened against Luton, it happened against Brighton, similar thing. United, where we just a chance at the chat and just rushed it too much, and that's everybody. So the team was at fault for all of these goals for these games.
Crowd as well. That's what we've got to develop as fans, mate. All 3 of us, everyone in the comments as well tonight.
The atmospheres must be much better.
Yeah, like much better. But us as fans as well, we've got to be patient. Because on me watch along, I kept on saying to chat, as I said, the goals will come. Be patient, and they will come. We're not watching a Liverpool of a Roy Hodgson era. We are watching a very young Liverpool side now. We've already sprinkled in. We've certainly already league winners in this Liverpool side. You're looking at Salah, you're looking at Virgil, looking at Alisson, and you're looking at Trent already. They've all won everything in Liverpool. They know what it is for these big games. And then you're complementing that with a very raw, young striker, young Uruguayan striker, 23, 24-year-old Nunes. Yes, he's had plenty of chances, and we'll get to all your comments as well tonight. And I think all of us, we get the frustrations with Nunes. I think a couple of weeks ago when I was doing a show, I was frustrated. And I said in that show, he needs to do better. We all know he needs to do better. But what we, as every Liverpool fan, we're patient with our players. And if it doesn't work for the first couple of weeks, then sound, there will be, and thankfully we've got one of the world's greatest ever, one of the best Liverpool managers the best Liverpool manager I've had in my lifetime. Up there with, obviously, he surpassed Rafa and the boys anyway, but he is in our dugout. He was whipping up the crowd tonight. He was patient. He went in the second half, at half-time. He knew exactly what to say. And everyone would go, last year was an anomaly, and that season where we did have no centre-halves. Let that all at the football club. We'll get our signings. But if you give Jurgen Klopp the utility and the tools to win this league title, we win this league title. We know January. We'll do plenty of shows in the January transfer window this month. But if Liverpool can complement this already young, youthful side, Kev, and add it with a bit of quality as well, this Liverpool side can go all the way to the end of May, mate.
Absolutely. I 100% think we'll be involved at the end of May. I can't see why not. I think if the rumours about Inacio are true, I think we add him in this window and we get him in, or we get in some sort of experienced, maybe centre back or left back or something like that can come in and just that's willing to come into this team and be a cover player. I think, that's that alone would be that'd be great. Wouldn't I don't know if Klopp would go into the market for a striker just to kind of maybe force or to maybe having like for a change, Liverpool to have options, so off the bench, I wouldn't be against getting an Ivan Toney on the cheap. I wouldn't be against getting somebody. I don't think we get Bowen on the cheap, and I think he's too old maybe. I'd love to see him coming in, but he wouldn't be cheap.
Like a tacky for me, I'd say a tacky Minamino type player. Someone that comes in like a late in the career. Because when you look at the development trajectory of Núñez, he's a young lad. If it takes him another 12 months, we've all got patience. And he does finally drop, you're getting 25, 30 goals plus a season from Núñez for the next couple of years if he does continue to develop it. But for me, I'd look at that and just say maybe a 28 to a 32-year-old striker that wouldn't come in on big wages, wouldn't come in on big contract, give him a 2-3 year deal. Because
who'd be available? I'll have to look that up. Who'd be available?
For me, that's the way I'd look at it. Because we are only an injury away from Salah or an injury away from Núñez. Because you look at Origi, he was always that impact player. I know everyone's going, oh, we've already got. What would you think on that, Niall, as well? Because I think when you look at Liverpool's attacking threat, we've got Núñez, we've got Jota, we've got Diaz, but certainly we are lacking still currently. If there's no Jota and there's no Salah, I do think. I know statistically tonight we blitzed it, but sometimes you do need that bit more off the bench as well. You can never have enough quality to come off the bench, mate, for me.
Yeah, I think if we went, I think we need to go out in January and we need to make a statement, Simon, and to say how serious we are about wanting to win in this league and the Europa and potentially one of the domestic cups. I think we're involved in a lot of stuff. I think football can catch up on us very quickly. We don't know what's going to happen in the AFCON. We know from covering it, lads, that the level of football at times can be a bit crazy out there. Anyone can get hacked down, broke up, the whole thing. The refereeing out there is crazy. We love the AFCON. We love the colour and the spectacle and all of it. But the quality of the football that players like Mo Salah have to go through is always concerning for us. And we're never happy till he's back on the plane home to Liverpool, let's be honest. But I think there's no reason why we shouldn't go out there and speculate money. I'd love to see Ivan Toney in the team. He would be sensational for us in that 9 role.
That chap was there.
And it's just, and I know Klopp harps on about not wanting to block on players' development and all this kind of stuff. But lads, we're in the business of winning silverware here. We're not in the business of creating careers. We've seen players come and go over how many years at Liverpool and stuff like that. But if we really want to make a statement, we should be going out. We should be getting Ivan Toney. We should be going out. I read today as well that they're not potentially looking at a senior left back or left-sided centre back and stuff like that, which really concerns me as well. We don't know what Robbo's going to come back after being out so long with that injury. Costas, we're probably not going to see till next season, potentially. You know what I mean? Joel Matip is out and stuff like that. Kwanzaa has stepped up and all that kind of thing. But it's really concerning for me if we don't go out in the January window and make a statement signing. And if we go out and sign an Ivan Toney, we're telling the rest of the league, we're here. We're serious. We want to win this league. If you look at the spine of the team has great experience in going up against Man City. And let's be honest, that's where we see it. If we're looking at this league now, we're thinking us and Man City. That's where the battle's going to be. Arsenal are going to have the struggles. Villa
they're the pretenders. Sorry, any Arsenal fans.
Yeah, they're all in the top 4, top 5 race, whatever it's going to be and stuff like that. Literally, it's going to come down to us, depending on what we do in January, and Man City. We know how strong Man City we're going to be. We know any flaws or problems that they have there. Pep will go out in January and he will resolve that. And he'll have no problem spending money. He has a war chest there from the summer, from selling off academy players and all. But we should be going out making that statement signing, and we shouldn't be looking at it in terms of Darwin or looking at it in terms of Jota or in terms of anything else. Go out there, get the player, make a statement, let's kick on and let's win. You know, the fact that we've only got that league in Jurgen Klopp's era it's terrible, really. You know, I mean, I know it's great we won it after 30 years and all, But when Klopp probably reflects back on his time at Liverpool when he retires, there should be so much more silverware in there. We've been let down by these owners enough. John Henry, put your hand in your pocket and go get us Ivan Toney and let's go win this league. That would be my view.
Yeah, I'll get to Kev's thoughts in a second. I'm just going to quickly rattle through all the comments as well. We'll feature all of them anyway, chat. So really do appreciate everyone dropping your comments and let us know what obviously Niall said there and what I've said in terms of the window this season. Anyway, get to Charlie's comments. What is, lads? Big up, matey. Hope you had a good New Year and Christmas and everyone listening or watching. Curtis is coming of age. Love the boy. Nunes is so frustrating, lads. I don't know what the future holds at the minute. Obviously, big speculation as well. But what we will do, Charlie, I know what you will do, mate, is we will back our lads and we will back our players and we will give them every best opportunity to thrive at Liverpool Football Club. And if they can't, and if it doesn't settle, then Sam, we will, in the next couple of years, look to move on players because that's what happens in football. Not every signing does work out. Just look at a singing club down the M41, M51 or whatever, down the motorway anyway. They just overspend massively. We have Arsenal in the Prem away as well. Russell, that's the only tricky game, mate, in all honesty, the Arsenal game. Most of our big games are at Anfield, and we know Anfield is our fortress anyway. Big up there, Ants. I don't think we're just replying to Ants. I will get Kev's thoughts on Carvalho to give Ant the insight. But Redbeard saying Ants in relation to getting asked about what Carvalho's qualities could be if he did get his move to Leicester. Redbeard replied, Ant, I'm sorry it didn't work out for Carvalho at Liverpool. There are rumours that his attitude is a problem. Kev, Carvalho has been linked with plenty of clubs over the last 24 hours. Obviously, Liverpool officially confirmed yesterday it wasn't Fabrizio, even though everyone just takes his word for gospel quite literally now. Not worked out RB Leipzig. I think he's only featured about less than 10 times in the Bundesliga. For any Leicester fans, but mainly Ant in the comments tonight, what can Leicester hopefully, potentially, or another team in the Championship or lower in the Premier League anticipate from getting from Carvalho, hopefully?
I wouldn't be selling Carvalho.
No, it's on loan. No, it's on loan.
Yeah, no, but I'm not saying I wouldn't sell him. I'd be using him in a deal to get somebody better. So I'd be using him in a deal to go to Brentford to get Ivan Toney. I'd be using him in a deal to go to another club to take, like say, we're after all he's safe from Crystal Palace. I'd be using that in a deal if we suit that. You know, he's a number 10. He plays a number 10 role, and Liverpool don't play with a number 10. You know, we play with a false 9 in a system, and we play with two wingers that turn outwards. So he'll always be clustered in the middle of the park. What we do have is we have a left attacking mid and a right attacking mid that do step in to the 10 role when it's not occupied by somebody else. So we don't need a number 10. Carvalho doesn't suit our system. He doesn't suit the way we play. And I would use him as a maker because I still easily think he's a 25. If Dom Solanke was a 30 million pound player to go to Bournemouth, you would see Carvalho somewhere similar along that, I think that 25 million or something like that. Use him as a make weight in a deal to get somebody else in, because you know that people are after him. He's talented. A lot of people went in for him at Fulham. Fulham might even want him back if you were going for Robinson. You might even have Paulinho. I would go after Paulinho. I would use him in a make weight deal against Paulinho. If you threw 80 million towards Fulham with Carvalho, you'd probably get the two players. Let alone just Paulinho, because I don't think Paulinho is going to be at least 60 million still, because it's another 6 months onto his age. It's another period. You know, I can't see him that. Maybe 45 million. You know, you knock 25 million off of that price, you're getting Paulinho for 20 million. You're getting Muchkala for 30 million, maybe. So 50 to 70 million for both, plus the player.
They'd probably be hesitant. They'd be hesitant to sell both, though, wouldn't they?
I don't think so, but I would take Paulinho all day long if we're doing it.
Yeah.
Then we're going to need cover for Endo, and we're going to need, Endo can also play left back, by the way, lads. So if we don't need a left back, we can also bring in Paulinho and throw Endo left back, which he will happily play because he plays in a similar position on that side anyway.
The options are plenty. That's a good. It's one to, and the good thing, lads, I don't know if you've seen it. If Dom Solanke does get sold, Liverpool have got a sell-on clause in the contract, supposedly. So if he was to go to Arsenal or say,
I think we have a buyback clause as well, don't we?
Yeah,
just saying.
Yeah, so he is 26, and if he actually, the penny has dropped for Solanke, Obviously, he's hopefully doesn't score past us this
Class this season.
season. He's been
He
phenomenal.
won't get the chance if we buy him. He'd be scoring against them in the next game.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, but look, I would, if there's options there, man, and we need backup for a striker, I would take anybody that can score goals. Really, at this stage, there's a few guys. There's a Gurus, what's his name, Gurusy as well from Stuttgart. He's available at about 20 million. He could do the job as well, you know. So I'd be looking at these type of players. Jesus, Timo Werner is available as well for Leipzig. So, could he come back and do the job? I don't think so. I don't think he suits our style of play. He might suit Klopp, but he didn't suit what Chelsea did, and he didn't suit when he went back to the new style of Leipzig. Didn't suit that either.
Going to Chelsea, as we know, as history's already told, I'll say it right. Some players just going to clubs doesn't work, and used to not say put it past Jurgen Klopp if he was to not bring in Timo, but certain ex-Chelsea players, they might kind of work out at the football club. I might become one of the best ever Premier League players. You never know. But big up there, Kev. The boys that did the ref tonight, yeah, Charlie. It's safe to say the crowd tonight were giving it big uns, and quite rightly so. Spot on. Nice one. Sony should be, as Russell said there. I understand. I think all three of us on the panel, mate. We understand where they're coming from, mate. But at the end of the day, if every striker in the world was burying all the chances, Christ, if Messi, Ronaldo was scoring every single chance they had in their career, they'd be getting ridiculous. It's football, mate. Like, I think
he's assisting a lot.
Yeah, like he's assisting. It's not like he's just blazing the ball over the crossbar every single week. He's having an impact on the game, mate.
The problem is
frustrating. He's impacting the game, and he's creating, and he's scoring certain games as well. I get where people explore. I think everyone's got the expectation.
But everybody just wants number 9, Jack. Everybody just wants your solid number 9 that scores goals. With Liverpool, don't play with.
Liverpool, I was going to say, Kev, it's like almost like these Liverpool.
Bobby Firmino. They were complaining about him when we needed a striker number 9. You know, they were complaining before. It doesn't make a difference. They're always going to complain unless you get a number 9. That's it. And that's just the way it is.
But lads, imagine if we did get a 9.
Would Salah then score the goals? Would Salah,
because we've got 5 on the left and we've got 2 on the right.
We'd probably ruin him, Neil. Because
we'd ruin Salah, because I don't think Salah would then get all of his goals, though.
Yeah, and I also think that Klopp would expect that number 9 to track back and tackle like Nunes did. See the amount of balls he won back today against Newcastle by tracking back and winning with tackles. Yeah. Bobby used to do it. Nunes does it. Klopp doesn't. He doesn't matter as long as the front three are involved in all the goals. It doesn't matter. He wants to see the work rate before he wants to see the goals from an out striker. Yeah, so Nunes will score more. He will.
Yeah, I suppose from a manager, you're always happier if the goals are spread around the team. Yeah. I mean, naturally, that's the ideal situation, because if we were just relying on Mo, I mean, he's off to the AFCON now for a month, so we'd be in serious trouble. But I understand the criticism of Darwin as well. Look, there's no doubt there in terms of effort. He puts in a shift. You know, he's trying as hard as at times we think he's trying probably too hard. He probably should be a bit more relaxed. I think the goals will come, but I do think our expectation should be, you know, his percentages of conversion should be slightly better, I think. Now, again, my argument as well is I don't think he's a 9, and I think he's been crowbarred into that situation. So it's difficult. And we've seen shades this season as well when he's been out on the left as well. He's actually kind of contributed a little bit more at times and stuff like that now. But I'd like to see him in that central position getting some more goals and stuff like that, really. And mainly just for himself to stem the criticism. That's why I was delighted tonight when Gakpo scored. He's had a bit of criticism recently as well, you know. So
I give you a bit of an example how a top quality striker doesn't work in a top style system. And at the time, Benteke was one of the best strikers in the league, who was scoring all around him for Aston Villa, and he plays in this kind of formation. You know, he came in elsewhere, but when he was there, it just didn't work for him. It doesn't suit. And when we're playing with the likes of Torres and Suarez and all of that, they weren't playing as lone strikers up front. You know, they were playing as part of a 2-man team always. It was always in a 4-4-2 or a 4-1-2-1-2 system, you know, with a diamond in the middle. I mean, that's the majority of those goals were played in teams that played a diamond in the middle. And that's the way Liverpool played through most of the early 2000s and whatnot. It's only when Klopp came in, he changed his formation. You know, he's got the 2 or 3 styles of the 3-box 3 that he plays now with the inverted fullback, and it doesn't suit with the singular guy. I don't know. No, it might, because I think Ivan Toney could be the right guy that can come in and do it, because he can do what a false 9 does as well. So you know that it's a good shout to say that to bring him in, but your Osimhen might flop coming in here. You know, all of these guys that you'd want to bring in might flop. So that's why I say Gurus is very similar to Tony. He can work back, he can win a ball, and he can do that. As long as they can come back and win a ball and get involved, man, I don't care. As I said to you, Jack, I'm no longer. I want to give people a shout, but I'm no longer attached to players in the Liverpool team as what we used to be. Yeah. I want somebody just to come in and wear the shirt and do well for the team. And if that's the case, I don't care anymore. Tony can do the job that Nunez does as well. But it's good to have that kind of rotation. I would rather have him rotating with and have Jota rotating on the left-hand side with Gakpo or Diaz, and that kind of positioning. Yeah.
No, Russell, you're taking 2 words out my own sentence there, mate, and getting your own conclusion. By Lord, Ronaldo was winning Ballon d'Ors at Manchester United at Darwin's age. Christ almighty. But what I was saying was, if every striker in world football buried all the chances, I get Nunez who had 7 shots on target. Yeah, they should be converting.
Ronaldo would have 2,000 goals.
Yeah, it's Christ. But I tell you what, if Tony did come in or a striker, you'd have certain sections of our fan base still whinging if they weren't scoring goals. But it's the new flashy thing in modern day football. I've been on YouTube for a long, long time, and every single window that has gone. I do enjoy my transfer windows. They do bang the transfer window videos, but I just frankly. Like, even when we were winning leagues, winning Champions Leagues, of course, and everyone's entitled, even myself, we want to be seeing Liverpool win every single league title and every single Champions League and all that. But let's enjoy what we've already got. And as we've already discussed, Niall's alluded to, Kev's alluded to, Chat's already alluded to, obvious, we want to be seeing that quality. We need a better quality in DM, defence as well, Joe Gomez. There's always room to improve. But we do have high standards as a football club. But let's not throw players under the bus before they even start.
I have to give Joe Gomez props. He's my favourite, most improved player this season by a country mile.
Gomez and Jones, I think we need to speak about tonight again. Yeah. I'll let Niall attack Curtis Jones in a very positive way in a sec. But Kev Gomez, Joe Gomez, performance again, playing that makeshift left back, inverted, whatever role you want to call it. Tremendous again, mate.
He was all over the park, man. Certain times he was showing up on the right-hand side, he was showing up in the middle. That's why I said, man, you can even try Jones as a good quality DM because he's got the pace and he can get back as well. He can put in a really nice tackle and a really nice foot, to nick a ball away. And I think when you take away the defensive mindset from him on that right-hand side and you allow him to play his bit of football, he can play. I mean, he was making runs up that left-hand side today. He made more runs up the left-hand side today than I've seen Tsimikas do most of the season. So he would, like, the minute he got the ball, he was barreling up the left-hand side, looking for Diaz, cutting it inside, finding when Gravenberg and when he found him, when Sebastian was inside, he was going to him, Endo was inside, he was picking it up. He did well. And I have to give a shout out to Joe for that, because I mean I was one of his harshest critics in the last couple of seasons. Not that I wanted rid of him or anything, but actually I did at certain points. I wanted to say we should have cashed in on him for money wise, but no, he's I love him. So good. He's brilliant in front of a backline, and long may it continue. Now he was caught out a couple of times near the end of the game where the ball was going over the top long, and Newcastle were getting in there. So this is why he's not a left back. But he still does a better job there defending than what Tsimikas has done most of the season. But I would definitely have him in there as a DM or that side of a box midfielder, and that allows Trent to get forward a bit more as well if he's in the next Endo. It's almost like you've got him like one step along, and then the other lads are just staggered along next to him, and it's a strange formation, but it seems to work for Klopp, and it's working for us. So long may it continue. He looks like he's bang at it. He looks like he doesn't doubt himself anymore. It looks really like composed. He's really composed. Yeah, some of the turns he was doing was brilliant on the ball.
He nicked a few tonight as well, didn't he? In the midfield, he nicked a few balls off the Newcastle players.
Brilliant. And even when it gets tasty as well, lads, he's in there. He's always in there. Like Sterling's still currently crying his eyes out the big. I give
a shout out. I give a shout out to Klopp. If Endo's going as well, isn't he? Yeah, he's going as well. Why not have Joe Gomez in there next to thing and Trent and coming in from that right hand side? Even if Tsimikas does come back, or then we call Owen Beck back as well. I remember that. And we might finally get to see McAllister in his position and Szoboszlai in his position, because I think when the two of them are playing together, you see the best out of Dom. Because McAllister picks up all the dirty little work on the sides and frees up Dom, and then Dom doesn't have to run as much from deeper. He's better when he's receiving the ball just slightly deeper than the right attacking mid roll. But if he's all the way back receiving the ball, you've seen it tonight. He's kind of a bit knackered by the time he gets there, and a couple of wayward passes were poor and stuff like that. He's better off receiving the ball, turning 2 touches, and the ball gone off his feet, or at least 2 touches driving on and then a strike on goal. It's better. It's better when McAllister's in there. That's what I feel for Jones losing out in game time. Diaz back off. We've got such an abundance of players that can play multiple positions. It's about time we try them. When we need them the most.
I'd agree as well, Kev, spot on. Nigel, for all the audio listeners as well, we'll get to your thoughts in a little second, but I think Niall, Curtis Jones, I think what Kev's spoke very eloquently, really spot on about Joe Gomez. I think all of us, when we've done our show, I'm pretty sure we've done plenty of shows this season, and we waxed lyrical about Joe Gomez. He's been in our top 3, I think, he's certainly gone under the radar. If he continues playing Gomez the way he is, I think he might get into if we win the league, I think he'll certainly get into the team in the season. But it's one of them. But Curtis Jones, let's all give him his flowers, because Christ almighty, being on YouTube, it was the Ginnies, it's the Joneses, it's the players in this team it's the Nunes. People love to just bloody whinge at players. Even if Liverpool don't win. But Curtis Jones tonight was absolutely exceptional again. And you know me, mate, everyone on my channel knows I've been a massive supporter of Curtis Jones over the last couple of years. And everyone goes, oh, he's only getting a team that he scouts. No, he doesn't. He would have been long sold at Liverpool Football Club if he didn't think he was any good. But this lad has got all the qualities to very much thrive in this Liverpool system. And we've seen at the back end of last season, that double against Leicester, he was arguably our best player at the back end of last season. And he's took it into this season now. But even tonight, again, let me know your thoughts on him, mate, because he's done everything right.
Yeah, I just think with Curtis, I think it's really, really important. And Liverpool is one of those unique clubs as well, where it's very important that you have a player on the pitch that understands the importance of Liverpool, the city, the club, all that kind of stuff. Trent is the same. And they really are guys that can drive things on at time and bring that kind of energy. I've been I used to question Curtis a hell of a lot, like how many seasons does he need before we're going to see Curtis Jones, and how many seasons is Klopp going to give him and stuff like that. And it's very clear that Klopp's unique coaching in terms of confidence and stuff like that. He's come back this season. He got a knee injury and he was out and stuff like that. They didn't rush him back. We were all wondering why he was out so long and why they were taking their time bringing him back and all that kind of thing. He came back. Couple of games he looked a little bit rusty and a little bit off at times, and we said we're going to need to give him time. He's been out and stuff like that, and we know how sensitive a knee injury can be and stuff like that as well in terms of your confidence on the pitch. But just his play and his awareness, and just you can see his joy of playing football. He's enjoying his football, similar to what Spider said about Joe Gomez as well. These two boys now really feel part of the fabric of this team. Be it in a substitution role or be it in a starting role, whatever it is, they're quite happy to come in, play that role, add to what the team is and all that kind of stuff. But Curtis is just, when he's on his game, the way he turns in tight spaces, the way he doesn't cough up the ball easy, the way he protects the ball and uses the ball so well, the way he drives forward and he's always positive in his play and stuff like that. I can't say enough about Curtis Jones at the moment, or Joe Gomez, to be honest. And they were two boys, I'll put my hand up and say, they were two boys that I was saying, it's potentially time to move these guys on and stuff like that and all. And I'm happy to say that I'm wrong. Similar to when I talk about Nunes, I hope he blasts goals in left, right, and centre. I'm very happy to sit here at times and be wrong. I've no problem at all with that at all. But yeah, I just think Curtis is just, and he just whatever it is, even when he played, and what was the match where Klopp was then coaching him at the end? Remember, they were both standing in front of the goal, and Klopp was advising him about other stuff he could have done and stuff like that, and he was taking it on, and he was kind of joking with the gaffer as well, but he was also saying, yeah, what do you mean? And he was still taking it on, stuff like that, happy to be coached and stuff like that. And you can see how happy Klopp is as well when he sees the likes of Joe. You can see at the end of the games, they kind of tend to be the guys he goes to, Joe and Curtis and guys like that, to big them up and raise their our confidence even more and stuff like that. And you know, Curtis as well, we seen him starting that Liverpool side at quite a young age as well. I mean, I seen him warming up as a kid in the Aviva against Napoli, I think it was, with Trent, and they were just two kids. You know what I mean? So maybe sometimes we're too quick to judge, and sometimes players develop like a little bit later and stuff like that and all. But he's one of those players now that I don't get any anxiety anymore if I see him on the team sheet. Same with Joe. I'm not worried about it. Similar with other players in positions as well, you know. So it's great. Long may it continue.
Yeah, 100%. Mate. That's a great thing. All of us, like if I've criticised players in the past, especially this season as well, but I'd echo those words that Niall's alluded to, mate. I think there's one thing Liverpool fans, we all expect, and we have high standards of this football club. Sitting with Jurgen Klopp when he goes in every single week, he wants, and especially with the quality of the football club, there's players in, there's league winners, Champions League winners, there's players that left in the summer. Now it's up to the likes of Jones, Gomez, players who are in this squad that have been there for a bit of a while, but they have stepped up tonight and they will step up in the next couple of weeks. And as the years go by, next 2-3 years, when you get to that, 25, 26 for Curtis Jones, I know Gomez is a fantastic age for a centre half in the Prem. But yeah, amazing. But we'll get to Nigel's comments in a little second as well. I know you're absolutely, you know what, go for it, Nigel. Massive thank you, first and foremost, for every audio listeners or everyone watching. Hopefully Nigel has just tuned us midway through the episodes. Hope you had a good Christmas and a good New Year, mate.
Yeah. Not bad.
Were you in work tonight? Or?
No, I finished early today. Finished at 5 o'clock.
Oh, happy days, huh? Thoughts on the game? Mad one.
Yeah, well, sure. Just start off by wishing everybody a happy New Year, all ye and all the people in chat. Yeah, I thought, well, I have to say, starting off, one of the best goalkeeping performances I've ever seen, and one of the worst refereeing performances I've ever seen. Oh my God! Just to go back to Curtis Jones for a second, the thing with Curtis Jones is games. Like he was on a roll. Same with Joe Gomez. They were getting games under their belt, and their form was really good wherever they played. And all of a sudden, they're on a roll again, and they're playing really well. Same with Endo, actually, because he was magnificent tonight. He was absolutely magnificent. It's just Darwin needs a few goals. That's unfortunate. It's not clicking for him. And if we click against the team, we're going to absolutely destroy somebody.
Is it 10-0 on the cards this season?
Yeah, there is. I think if we click, we're going to absolutely annihilate somebody. I thought we were good tonight. In the first half, like it just wouldn't go in. And like, if you look at our first 3 goals, we walked the first 2 past the goalkeeper and had 2 tip-ins and an open goal. And Cody Gakpo, for the other one, completely scuffed the shot. So we're hitting shots too well altogether. We're connecting too well with the ball.
Yeah,
hit them dirty. Hit them off your big toe, or hit them off your little toe, or off your heel or your nose or something.
It was like that Man United game, Nigel, wasn't it? Where you were just getting Bobby doing it in everyone, but it's going to be one of them, mate. We've mentioned, do you want to wax lyrical of any Liverpool players tonight, mate? Is it a couple of, I know we haven't really mentioned either. I think he had a solid game, really. Yeah, Alisson had nothing to do apart from getting the ball out of the back of the net. Standard, really. Well, not standard because he hardly conceded a goal this season or since he's been at Liverpool. Any other players? I like the impact of Jota, Nigel. I think the lads have mentioned.
It wasn't looking great for a few minutes with all 3 of those subs, but they did make a difference.
Yeah,
they really did make a difference.
How they impacted the game? How did they impact the game for you?
Fresh legs.
Yeah,
fresh legs. They just gave us the little injection to get in behind, because Newcastle were getting tired and they were starting to kick us. You could really see it. I mean, and that other clown from Manchester was just completely lost the root himself, and it was letting them. You know, they could have had 2 men sent off. Very, very easily could have had 2 men sent off. It was just these ridiculous kicks, these little niggly fouls. Joe Linton should have been sent off. He definitely should have been sent off. And then at the end, there was 2 kicks. At the end, and he should have been. He booked him for 1, Longstaff, I think it was, and he didn't book him for the other. He let it go. He let the play go on again, and then suddenly, advantage. If you play advantage, you don't have to book a player, which is the most absurd thing I've ever seen. from a refereeing point of view.
That's nonsense. We've
What's-
seen them getting booked after the fact loads of times.
Yeah,
It just
oh, like
it suited the narrative tonight, as it always does. I just think with Jota coming on, Jota's so tenacious in his play as well. You can imagine if you're a defender in there and you've just spent 70 minutes dealing with Darwin, and then Darwin goes off and Jota comes on, and you're just looking going, here's this tenacious little terrier now who's absolutely going to kick lumps out of me every time I have the ball. And he does it in a way where he's just so... I love Jota's aggressiveness when he comes on, especially as a sub when he comes on. Sometimes when he plays from the beginning, he doesn't be as aggressive in his play, because it's like as if he says, so I have plenty of time here, and he's more relaxed. But when he comes on with 25, 30 minutes to go, he's just like a terrier or a Jack Russell with a problem.
Him and Elliott are the perfect subs.
Just go on, and he's
on that
so
subject.
tenacious.
Just on that subject, Niall, as well. You've got like Darwin running around like a lunatic all the time, and then you put on Jota, and it's a totally different thing. He's a totally different. He's a box player, and they've got to suddenly rearrange themselves up there to try and deal with somebody who's going to be playing between the goalposts, basically.
But you'll notice as well, Nigel, when Jota comes on and displays that aggression, you see Mo lifting his aggression in his game as well. You see it on the other side with Diaz as well, or whoever comes on, lifting their aggression as well. And you just get that wave of aggression. It's like when Harvey comes on and lifts that energy. With Jota comes on, and you can tell.
Diaz was fantastic tonight too, by the way.
Like he's come on for 25 or 30 minutes fighting to win a cup final or something like that. And he plays like that every single time. Look at the difference in Mo when Jota comes on. Mo is getting stuck in. He's fighting for every ball. He's doing all that kind of stuff and all. And it's just that effect that Jota can have on the team and stuff like that. His aggression and his tenacity is second to none.
The answer Mark's one there as well. No, Jota doesn't get a ban, or Endo doesn't get a ban mark because it's past the 19 game threshold. So if he'd had 5 yellow cards before 19 games, he would have been banned for a game. It's reset now.
He's on his own. He's on his own. He's okay.
Resets today.
Reset it. Yeah, reset it out. No, 19 games. Just after 19 games of the season, doesn't matter when. It's I think it just it resets after you played your first 19 games. I think of the season.
Oh, so it's halfway
point. Yeah. So he's done. He's got his one. He's only on one now, really, officially for the next. So he'd have to get 4 more to get a ban. So.
And I think you mentioned.
What about the little cameo from McAllister tonight as well? By the way,
very good. Yeah.
After coming back from a layoff.
Yeah, it's a great point you've raised there, Nigel. I'll ask Kev this. The control when McAllister come in, I think that was an important thing, because it was all of us watching that game. It was absolutely going everywhere, up, down, the ball, and could have easily previous Liverpool sides pre-Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool would have absolutely folded well and truly. Especially when the referees having the game we're not scored, but I think you need that as well. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks to come, McAllister, he come on and absolutely dictated the whole of the game. As soon as he come on, it's a great point that Nigel, I've completely forgot about McAllister when he come on. But I think we've mentioned Jota, but he's almost as important as Jota when he comes on, because the way that game was to and fro and from back to forward for both sides, you need those dictators in terms of the control of the game.
Brilliant job by the time.
Yeah, Kev, going forward on tonight's game, McAllister, he's going to have his levels need to be raising the bar a bit more next couple of weeks to come, aren't they, mate? Obviously, especially stepping into the shoes of Endo, who's done it.
Well, you can't do what Endo does, because Endo is he's naturally in that position, and fair dues to McAllister playing in that position when he's had to do it. You know, one thing that I've completely learned over the last few weeks is that Gravenberch will never play in that position. He's not a defensive minded player at all. From what I see, it's just sure that when McAllister did come on, you know, it allowed Gravenberch was a bit edgy when he first came on, and then he grew into the game. He's better with link-up play, moving the game forward, laying the ball off. He's very good. And even getting to the point as well about, we were talking, because since it is the transfer window open, I was having a look at the people that I didn't go to search my news off of news outlets. I went to search who Liverpool scouted to the scouting network. So I've been watching who Liverpool have scouted over the last few weeks, and who they've gone to multiple times to see. And Ko Itakura from Mönchengladbach is one. Yeah, they went to look at him a few times. Gonçalo Inácio and Florentina Luis at the same time for the Lisbon derby. They were scouted the other night as well. for the both of them. And there's another handful of them in there as well to have a look at. But those are the main guys.
Which is
in
an
Liverpool.
interesting spider as well, isn't it? Because if they're at that level of scouting, it means they want to do something in the window. Because they're not just going out there scouting for the fun of it, and they do realise it and all and stuff. And it's
we really might get our hand forced with the transfers, lads. If Szoboszlai's after tweaking a hamstring, we might actually have to.
Yeah.
They might not want to, but they might have to.
In fairness, Nigel, the title run should force our hand. Forget about it.
Yeah, well, it should. In fairness, yes, it should. But it might actually force them to lash out a bit of money and be good in the long run.
Well, we've got 100 million in the kitty, boys and chat. Like 100 million, we supposedly, I don't know if that was probably a PR spin anyway from the owners, but we've got 100, and the whole world knows that we've got 100 million.
Don't mention war chest. Don't mention war chest. Don't mention
war chest. The Scouse war chest. Yeah, go ahead, boys.
I think we've players to sell as well that can go as well in January. There's a couple of players. I mean, Carvalho could be one of those. I know he wants to see whether he can get the best out of him, or to send him out to a club to train him into a position that suits Klopp's position, because he is a gifted footballer when he's on his day. The difference is it doesn't suit him unless he's going through the middle. And when he's gone through the middle with us, it hasn't been good enough. Darwin's done a lot more on the ball when he's there. So if you had your options, like, come back, like you said it as well, Niall, earlier as well. That about Jota, he is more influential in the second half when he comes on of a game. He's not from the start, whereas Núñez is the most influential player we have going through the middle from the start of a game, unless it's a game that we know we're going to have complete control of, and then maybe Gakpo is. So it's hard to kind of determine which one is better to start with. But for me, I like it when Jota comes on late and doesn't start the majority of games. I like it when Jota starts against like teams like Wolves and maybe like a Brentford, or maybe like these kind of teams, because he works well against those. But I think in your big games and your stuff like that, I think even in the biggest games, I think Gakpo starts. I think in semi big games like Newcastle stuff, you get your Núñez starting, or vice versa. So it all comes down to that. If Sebastian's after tweaking a hamstring, could just be a strain, lads. So that means a bit of rest up, bit of ice pack on it, and he'll be grand by next week. Could just be that he's just overtired and overworking himself, and he was tracking back an awful lot. I think when McAllister in the team, along with Endo at the same time, which we've yet to properly see. I think we've seen it for like 20 minutes of a half there once, and which we've yet to properly see. I think you're going to see, an ultimate Dom Szoboszlai there, because he won't have to defend as much. He won't have to drop back as deep as much, because McAllister does like to drop back. He is more of a box-to-box type attacking midfielder than he is a DM. So Endo will always drop back. You've seen Endo clears everything in front of the box. Like, he's standing in front. If the ball is on that side, he's standing in front of Ibu. If the ball is on the other side, he's standing in front of Verge. And the lads barely have to do anything unless there's balls over the top.
Yeah,
the other thing, Jack, actually, that's nice to see as well. If you look at it as well, we're there tonight, and all of a sudden we're bringing on Gravenberch, we're bringing on McAllister, we're bringing on Gakpo, we're bringing on Jota, we're bringing on these players. That must be so disheartening for the likes of a Newcastle team to look at that. When you think about where we were so leggy last year and we'd no real options and all that kind of stuff. Now we're bringing on real quality that can influence a game as well. And it's so important from that point of view. You can imagine Eddie Howe looking across the line and the 3 or 4 boys are standing there to come on. He must be going, what am I going to do now, type of thing, And that should be the same when we're up against any of those teams out there at the moment. We also have a bench now that can stand up to most. A little sprinkling in the January window and we'll be all good, lads.
Yeah,
all good.
Absolutely amazing, boys. We'll wrap up, I know, very quickly in a little second, but get the lads to shout out their channels as well.
One comment confused me there just a little bit from Russ. I didn't understand the 100 million. No, 100 million one. Down again. No, down again. Sorry. Yeah, there you go. No, the only thing I say about that, I get where Russ goes. He doesn't like Núñez and he doesn't like Carver. We know we can get rid of them. Olise is a right midfielder and a right winger, so I don't know how he's going to replace Diaz on that left hand side, and like you're literally selling 2 slightly left-handed sided attacking midfielders, even in the cam role for a striker and a right attacker, which already has Szoboszlai, Elliott in that position as well, and and more than down on top of him. I don't think we'll go for Elise since we bought Szoboszlai. I don't think he's an option for us because we have Szoboszlai in there now, and we've got Elliott. If he brings in Elise, you might as well say goodbye to Harvey Elliott.
He's a London lad, isn't he? Even I think he's represents France now at youth level.
Yeah,
But I'm pretty sure he'll probably end up at Chelsea.
Arsenal or Chelsea. Yeah, one of the other. I think. Well, not over Cole Palmer. Maybe Arsenal. He could go there if you know.
That hasn't stopped Chelsea from signing many of our
true.
They
definitely shouldn't.
But
he's a very good player. He's very.
I agree with Tony. I agree with trying to get Tony if you get the chance. He's a Liverpool fan. If there's an option in there, at least we'd have another type of out-and-out striker that can also play in a false nine role if we needed to. And then I don't care who does well out of the two of them, as long as one of them does well for the club. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, they'll bring each other along, won't they? If that's how we do it, they should bring each other along.
You know? Yeah, spot on there.
Lead penalty taker as well.
Yes.
We could
do
also, there's been a big rule change in Saudi League. Have you seen that?
Oh no, go on.
Yeah, so there's a big rule change in the Saudi League where they're not allowed to have an amount of foreign players anymore coming in.
Like the Chinese league.
They've completely brought it because apparently is it Etihad or one of these other they've got like they've only got like 10 that are normal players or something, and the rest are all foreign in the team, which is a lot of players. So yeah, they're after bringing in a rule change where you're not allowed to have a certain amount of foreign players.
Well, the bubble must have burst spoiler, did it? Where they're spending hundreds of millions on players coming in, and then 600 people are watching the game.
Yeah,
that's probably what it is. Yeah,
it's another thing, isn't it? Yeah,
and that's the main thing is FIFA though, Kev and lads. Like FIFA have such a massive say because I think the FIFA executives, they were saying they need to develop the sport in their own country with their own players as well. That's the only way you will grow football from the ground up, from a youth level. These young Saudi kids that want to play football represent the country on the biggest stage as well. And only that way, it's all well and good. We've seen with the Chinese league, seen with other leagues, the MLS. But do you remember when Del Piero turned up in the Austrian league a very long time ago? Even the MLS to a certain extent as well. And we're seeing bare fruits from the national side of the USA, even the Canadian national team. I think watching them, there's a couple of very young Canadian players that are very good now. There's a Buchanan who I was absolutely amazed by. I think he plays for Club Bruges now. I think
Davies, your man Davies at Bayern Munich is Canadian, isn't he?
Canadian. He's Canadian. Davis for the Leo now, but he'll probably certainly get a big move. So it's just about developing these spots. It's great, nice one for that, Kevin. Didn't see that rule change, but I think with the Saudis and that part of the world, they really need to spend all that money. Should be going on the academy. Look at the Morocco side as well in the World Cup. I think it was only about 5-6 years ago or 10 years ago where they built that state-of-the-art facility for all their youth players. So it's one of them. Infrastructure is key. Spending the money and the right players on the youth level. And that's what it's all about for Liverpool as well, lads. We've got to look in-house. Not always. We've been very fortunate. We've had a certain Robbie Fowler, a certain Michael Owen break through a youth level. That could be the answer to Liverpool's out-and-out 30-goal a season striker in a couple of years' time. We could have a young kid coming through.
We recall Owen Beck from loan today.
So
with Dundee. He's Ian Rush's grandnephew, I think.
Yeah, grandnephew,
yeah, and he's homegrown, like. So I mean, are we going to try and push him for left back?
Left back, yeah, he's left back, isn't he? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
he did well when he came in.
Left back.
Yeah, Dundee were fuming, not the got rid of him. I'll tell you that now. Even on the Olisa thing, Olisa never played for Man City. He played for Crystal Palace, Reading, and Crystal Palace under 21s. Oh,
and probably in the youth system. No, it was just they played that, and he hasn't played. I'm trying to see how many games he's played left wing, and I can't find him. I can see right winger and right attacking midfielder and right winger. I can't see that. Unless Klopp wants to convert him, he's done it to like Salah plays the right hand side with the left leg, and maybe Olisa could do the same with the right leg on the left side.
Just all them outside the foot, innit?
I don't care, man. Just buy them all if we have to. I don't care. Just we're not going to, buy the right player to suit Liverpool. Is what I'm saying. Is the main thing,
Like and, let's get them all. Sorry, I was a bit cheesy. That was shocking.
I wished for Musalowski to come in, man, and do what he's doing on the left hand side. Would be brilliant if he was ever promoted up. But him wanting to leave last season is a bit premature. I think Klopp was trying to make him mature up enough a bit to do it, because maybe he's just a little bit too immature to come up to the first team yet. Because I was expecting him to have chance after chance in the first team, more so than ever I was going to see Cade Gordon or or you know, Quanza or any of these lads coming through. But like, what a step up Quanza's been for me. Like, we don't need a right hand sided defender. I think Ignacio can come in because he can rotate, but also play left back at the same time. So that's what I'd like to see in that if he's coming in. Florentino Luis would be an absolute steal if we got him for cheaper than what he was going for last season. So
yeah, 100% there. I'd agree. Like, we do plenty of shows anyway. Nigel, take it. I'll be buying lads pints when you eventually do see them anyway. See Kev hopefully in a couple of weeks again. Niall, you're always welcome. Both Niall and I are always welcome to come down, even if he's ain't got a ticket. Come down, see us, get a bevy, and we'll go out and watch the footy as well. It's been a very long show, but I know it's been a long one. But we'll get the lads. But a massive thank you to Nigel in the super chat, and obviously there was Henry's super chat at the very beginning of the show, mate, as well. So both of you, massive thank you for the support. But most importantly, a massive thank you for the support as always from everyone on the panel tonight as well. It's always, I enjoy doing these. I much prefer them than just me sitting and gabbing. I love getting the lads' insight as well. But Niall, massive thank you, mate. Where can everyone find you? And obviously what you've got coming up tomorrow in the post-match run and the week to come, mate.
Yeah, you'll catch me. It's the upper tier everywhere, basically on all the social medias, and also on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music for the audio show, similar to yourself, Jack. Wednesday we've got our Pro Wrestling Weekly show, so we'll be talking about all the news and everything that's cropping up out of pro wrestling over the last week or so, and take a look back at history. Thursday we'll have Thursday Tier Talk. It'll be an FA Cup preview this week. We'll also do a bit of transfer news, and we'll be having a chat about the AFCON, because we cover the AFCON when it starts and stuff like that, which is always great fun altogether. We really enjoy doing it. It's great crack. Yeah, great fans out there, great colour, the whole thing. It's unbelievable, the whole spectacle, and also we enjoy it, and we get a good laugh out of the referees and stuff like that at it as well. It's always fun.
Now, and rightly so, mate. It's spot on. So please do, everyone, head over, subscribe to Niall and the lads. Great content out there. But now I'll be doing a couple of watch-alongs, so you're very welcome to jump on the watch-alongs. I think the second most successful ever video on the channel wasn't a Liverpool video. It was an Egypt-Senegal final. And I'll tell you, we had some bare views. Obviously, not everyone is very fortunate to be able to watch the game live. So we had so many great, wonderful people, Senegal fans, Egypt fans in. And it is extremely special. I know we, as Liverpool fans, we are selfish, aren't we? We want to keep all of our players. But that part of the world, or just in general, international teams, to have the opportunity to win a tournament, especially with Salah, he's the best player, Muslim player, like best attacking Wales, African player, best African player, probably better than Drogba.
Oh, it is. Don't be miles better than Drogba.
Yeah, so certainly better. He's one of our best ones anyway. He's absolutely amazing. Our star boy, but he's Egypt star boy. Kev, massive thank you. Please do shout out where everyone can find you and what you've got coming up on your, obviously, social media platforms as well, please, mate.
Right, yeah, you'll find me at Spider LFC on the Twitter, and you'll find me at Spider LFC on YouTube and on Facebook when that's back up and running on the 13th. And you'll find me at Spider or Irish Spider Guy on YouTube, on Facebook, and Irish Spider Guy on Twitch. Coming up, I've got the watch along for the Arsenal game coming next week. I'm going to start doing a small bit of transfer news myself, just not speculation stuff, but just little bits and pieces on, not hearsay. I get in when it becomes almost. So I'm going to try and get a reputation for myself of being, if I do a video on it, it's probably going to happen.
Just become an IT.
No, I'm not going to become an IT kid. They're the worst in the world. They're the worst people in the world.
No, Mbappe 2024, no?
No, the younger Mbappe maybe, but not the main guy. But I'll get involved in that a little bit. But yeah, we're doing a lot of gaming, a bit of Call of Duty and that coming up, a lot of horrors and VR games as well coming out. You'll find them mostly on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. All right.
Happy days, mate. Nigel as well, always massive.
Irish Red 11 on Twitter.
Yeah, there we go. He knows the script. He knows the script. He well and truly does. But lads and ladies, a massive thank you to everyone in the comments as well this evening. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day tomorrow. And everyone listening on Spotify podcast as well, please do drop us a comment, leave us a review if you want to, and let us know your thoughts on the channel as well. But massive thank you to all three lads, and most importantly, everyone watching tonight. The Reds, absolutely flying, sat at the top of the table, 45 points, and we're going to be staying there till now, the end of May. Up the Reds. Everyone below us in the league, it's up to you now. Start trying chasers in a bit.